Okay, Bob, this was a weird one. Impeachment's going on, right? So in the House, the way impeachment works, the House creates the legal case why he should be impeached, the president, sends it to the Senate, and the Senate tries that case with all evidence. You don't get to bring new evidence in. You only get to use the existing evidence. Did you know there was an 18th witness? Everybody's saying 17 witnesses, 17, but you know there was an 18th witness? And do you know who this 18th witness was in the House during the investigation that Adam Schiff, the managers in the Senate, won't let come in and just won't discuss and talk about?
Is that the whistleblower? Are we talking
No,
about
not the whistleblower. This is not the whistleblower.
Is it the whistleblower's attorney?
No, this is the subtitle. House Democrats conceal testimony of 18th witness from Trump team. Subtitle: The reason it hasn't been released is it's not helpful to Adam Schiff. Let me read a bit of this to you here. Let's see. Here we go. The reason it hasn't been released is it's not helpful to Adam Schiff. It's not helpful to the whistleblower, said John Ratcliffe, Texas Republican. It raises credibility issues about the both of them. This person here is one of the heads of the national security who's saying that Adam Schiff, the whistleblower's colleagues have all been working together to plan this out far before this Ukraine phone call.
Well, hasn't that been the goal since the election, to impeach Trump? I believe that I've heard multiple congressmen and congresswomen speak about impeachment since the election.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
and here he says again, he says, but they do not mention an 18th witness, Michael Atkinson, who is the intelligence community's inspector general. So he is the internal guy who is always auditing and keeping clean whichever department he's a part of, which in this case is the intelligence community. So the inspector general, intelligence community's inspector general, who has firsthand knowledge of the origins of the whistleblower complaint that led to the impeachment. Members of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence who conducted the interview are barred from disclosing details, but Republicans on the committee said the testimony should be heard at the president's impeachment trial in the Senate. Apparently it's like a 100-page testimony. He talks about Schiff. He talks about the whistleblower. He talks about the chains of command and how they're all related to each other. Now, again, these guys can't say exactly what's in it because levels of
national security,
all that stuff that they put out. But they are doing everything they can to keep this guy, Michael Atkinson, and that's a photo of him right there.
So who broke the 18th witness? Who leaked it?
Well, it's not a John Ratcliffe, at least one of them, because he is on the committee, the intelligence committee. So while they have all these witnesses and they can't go into details, I guess the most he can say is, Michael Atkinson is one of our witnesses. But no one's talking about him, and he's not being put forward. It seems very convenient that once his testimony doesn't fit the narrative of what they've tried to so desperately put together.
Does that surprise you?
No. None of this does. It's just so frustrating.
It is frustrating, and
you know the reason. President Trump has so much power because as a president, right? We've given our presidents far too much power in history.
Yes.
He could absolutely be impeached on something as vague and
so we could all be arrested for something.
Mm-hmm. As vague as impeachment could be turned, you could probably impeach him for some of his foreign policy. But the reason they're never going to do that is because the Democrats are making so much money and just as corrupt in those angles, that if they were to try to get him on that, it would completely expose them.
But he sets foreign policy. That's his job.
Well, prior to him coming in, Obama foreign policy, Bush Nancy Pelosi has been in the Congress now for 43 years, 46 years.
She's born in 1940. She's 80 years old. No, I'm not criticizing her age by any means, but she's been there too long.
Yeah.
And so as a lot of them on the Republican side as well.
Yeah.
And that's just another indictment against them. And to look for term limits.
Term limits.
And but anyway, getting back to the 18th witness. Okay, they've evidently, like you said, evidently there's some reason they do not want him to speak, and really there aren't going to be any witnesses. There's nothing that they can charge him with except for being Donald Trump.
Yeah.
If there were illegal things that he did, you'd be kidding yourself if you didn't think they would come up with them. That they'd be at the front, but they can't do it. It's just been a show of a political arena to move folks that don't look into these things a little closer to say, oh yeah, well I heard that from Mr. Schiff.
Yeah, right. And he wouldn't lie. They're a congressman.
Of course not.
Although, did you see this one? Let's see. I don't know if this is the right article. Impeachment rating gets worse ratings than soap operas. So few Americans believe what's going on with this impeachment story that they're actually tuning out. A lot of these local news stations are actually no longer showing the impeachment, and they're just going back to their regular program as the world turns.
And in defense of the impeachment hearings, they did take precedence over the Democratic debate. So,
yeah. And that's why I say earlier, I have to go to Breitbart to get a review of the Democrat debates, because even the Democrat-leaning outlets, the liberal-leaning outlets, aren't covering it because it's such a clown show. So anyway, yeah, I didn't know. So kind of interesting stuff, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
There's an 18th witness who completely blows this entire story to kingdom come, and everybody's being barred from even mentioning that he exists.
I actually, not that it would produce any legal evidence, but just for political exposure, I think they ought to have the witnesses just to get them out. But John Bolton doesn't want to come forward, because if he comes forward and he testifies, he's going to lose a lot of money on his book. Because why would you buy his book?
Yeah, he has to put it. Yeah, it sets a very bad precedent for future impeachment that you can just completely ignore the rules and do whatever. But I wouldn't be opposed.
And and I know you do know, that most folks think if the president is impeached, he loses his job.
Yeah, that blew up on Twitter for a few days. So many people saying he's out of here, he'll be gone.
No way.
Sorry, guys, that's not.
No, how many impeachments have we had?
3.
Three.
But he may be the first president to be impeached and reelected.
He may.
Which is a very strong judgment of his character, that he got impeached by the Congress, but the people still like him enough that they want to put him right back in.
Well, it all generally boils down to, and you've heard it, and I've heard it multiple times, the economy's stupid.
Yeah. Yep.
And I saw the statistics today. I think it was Fox Business, that since 2016 the Dow's up 57% and the Nasdaq's up like 78%.
Yeah, Bob, we talk with because of our work, wealth management. We talk with a lot of business owners. I talked with a business owner this morning who runs a good hair salon in the suburbs, and you know what that person said? Because I asked very specifically, since Donald Trump has taken over, how has business been here? And you know what the reply was? Every month, more and more and more. People are out spending. People have more money coming in. I talked to restaurant owners. We have restaurant owners clients. You know what they say? And I asked very specifically, since Donald Trump got elected, how has your business been? And I'm paraphrasing, but the gentleman says, I don't care if you love or hate that man, our business has never been stronger. And it's quarter by quarter, more and more and more. 3 years of just up, up, up. So anyhow, we're going to keep that exact conversation for this very next topic, okay? Everybody, we'll keep you up to date on this impeachment fiasco, but that's all we've got for now. Go home right now. If you don't believe me, Google Michael Atkinson. You'll see some interesting information about him. So anyway.
Do your own homework.
Do your own homework. Don't trust me. Don't trust Bob.
Nope. Do your own homework.
All right, thanks, guys. My name is Ryan Derks. I'm running from Missouri's 5th Congressional District, and I approve this message.